So I was watching Otz's recent video about Vecna and the two paths for DPD. One line got stuck in my head. He said,
"This game should not be balanced around ignorance."
And I couldn't agree more. The game he's describing would be better. More skill, more interaction, less holding W. If you've been here for years, that's most likely the game you want as well. But I remembered a post I made a few weeks ago. Just a Chaos Shuffle clip where I randomly got Lightborn against some streamer with a flashlight. It ended up blowing up and people argued and argued in the comment section, and we ended up at 236 comments so far. A chunk of them were genuinely upset for a perk I didn't even choose, in a mode where perks are just completely random. One guy said killers should just face walls instead of running Lightborn. Another said they DC every time they see it. Not as a joke. They just leave the game. And it's easy to blame those people. But I don't think they're the problem. Here's how I see it. BHVR got a taste of that big license money. Stranger Things, Resident Evil, D&D.
Aren't you a sight for sore eyes?
And then they scaled up. More devs, bigger team, way more overhead. And now they have to keep that momentum going or people lose jobs. Real people. Friends they've made.
Okay.
So now they're stuck. The battle pass isn't enough anymore. They need the new player who buys Vecna, grabs a couple skins, and just leaves in a month. It's kind of like a bowling alley that used to host a competitive league, right? Then they expanded, took out a loan, and now they have to keep the birthday party crowd happy or they just can't make rent. So the bumpers stay up. And it's not because the league players don't matter. It's because the alley can't afford to lose the kids. I was looking at the nightlight stats. They're not exactly official, but even the official stats are questionable. For example, if I use the free abandon feature as a killer at the end of the match when there's no survivors left and it's just bots, the survivors are then counted as escapes.
So what did I do? I press escape. And I abandon. Escape, 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 escape. I actually checked the day afterwards because I was curious on the website. You know what the website said? The website said Bill disconnected and everyone else escaped. So the website tracked this as 1 DC and 3 escapes.
And that's the sort of stats that BHVR is bouncing around.
Otz talks about Vecna being counterable. Hold W, use sprint burst, keep your distance. And he's right. If you know what you're doing, Vecna is manageable. Strong, but not S tier. I've played a ton of Vecna, and it's been more of a struggle than my usual pick, which is Dracula. So I won't be playing Vecna much after another week or so. For now, I'm just playing with a shiny new toy.
They're not trying to torture you, they just want to play the new shiny toy.
But Vecna is sitting at about 55% kill rate right now. That's about 5 points above average. So either Otz is wrong, or most survivors aren't holding W. And I don't think Otz is wrong on this one. Here, I'll show you.
We noticed some survivors had trouble evading our newest killer's attacks. To help you out, we've put together some quick tips.
BHVR even put out a tutorial on how to counter him, and they really don't do this very often. I did a little digging, and I only found 2 other instances. One of them was the first Stranger Things chapter, and the other was the Xenomorph launch. And the same thing happens to Trickster. Competitively, he's mid at best. You make distance because he's slow. You break line of sight on his knives, you play the tall loops, but in the actual game, he's at 66% kill rate. Highest in the game. That's fascinating. So why does he have such a high kill rate? Well, it's become kind of a meme to give up against Trickster. People would rather check out than learn how to play against him.
Trickster takes the cake on my least favorite.
That's Latte on Twitch. She has roughly 3,100 hours in the game. I went against her team on Vecna a few days ago. They played really well. But what's really interesting to me is mid-match she started talking about Trickster. And listen to what she says.
Non-skill and annoying. I know. I just wonder, like, am I really that ass? Or is Trickster really just fucking cringe to go against? Just, like, you can't really dodge. I don't know. I guess you play against him the same way you play against Hunters, which is, like, hug tight loops. like short, tight loops. But then it's like, I just get fucking double M1. That's the counter, is just get double M1.
She's not asking how to counter him. She's already decided there's nothing to learn. You can't really dodge.
Just like you can't really dodge.
The counter is just get double M1'd.
That's the counter, is just get double M1.
That is not ignorance from a lack of hours. That's just checking out. And then you've got Nurse, the killer everyone says breaks the game. The actual S tier. She's at 46% kill rate, which is below average. Now, does that mean Nurse is balanced? No. She's still the best killer in the game in the right hands. But she's hard to play. She's been around forever, and new players usually don't touch her. So the spreadsheet says she's fine. This is what Otz means when he says the game is balanced around ignorance.
This game should not be balanced around ignorance, and it is exactly what we have right now.
The stats don't measure skill. They don't. They measure how confused the average player is. So, what's the answer? Otz laid out two paths. Path A is what we have now. Big maps, strong exhaustion perks, holding W, solidified by behavior themselves. It's safe, but it's very boring. Path B is the dream. Smaller maps, weaker safety nets. Every chase comes down to who made the better play. High skill, high interaction. And Path B sounds incredible. That's the game I'd want to play. That's the game Otz wants to play. That's probably the game that you also want to play. But getting there overnight, you can't. If you were to take the bumpers down now, people wouldn't learn to aim. They'll just fill out the surveys with, the gutters are bugged. The thing that frustrates me is that it didn't have to be this way. Behavior built a game that survived for years on its core player base. The people who bought every chapter, who kept the servers populated, who made content that brought new players in. And then they got the big licenses and they hired more people, and now they need the revolving door of new players just to keep the lights on. The battle pass isn't enough. The loyal players aren't enough. So they balance for who? They balance for the tourists, and the veterans just have to deal with it. It feels like the people who put in the hours don't really get to shape the game much anymore. The spreadsheet does. So where does that leave us? I'm not sure Path B is coming. Well, not in one big patch, but I don't think that's completely hopeless either. Behavior sends out surveys constantly. They're deathly scared to make the wrong move. I mean, they've walked back entire patches from just community feedback, which means they're at least thinking about it. And we've seen them make small changes over time. A perk rework here, a small map tweak there. It's not quick, it's slow. It's frustrating, but it's movement. Maybe they'll figure it out. Maybe one day the bumpers come down and we get our lanes back. The game is frustrating sometimes, but it's, I think, the people around it. That's the part. I'm not giving up. If you enjoyed the video, hitting that like button or giving hype helps a ton. And if you're looking for a place that feels a bit more like League Night, come hang out in the Discord. I post clips there, game highlights, and dumb moments that don't usually make it into the full videos. I'll put the link in the description. And if you're interested in a little bit of drama, you might be interested in one of my latest videos. It's called What Happens When a Streamer Gets Bored. My name is Jen. Thanks for watching.